And welcome to USPBL Baseball here on another rare Wednesday night here in August. I'm Brendan Shabath. It's just me tonight, unfortunately. You're going to be stuck with me, but don't worry, I've got you covered for everything USPBL Baseball. Tonight, it's the Unicorns and the Hoppers, a matchup we've seen a lot this year, and this is a really big week for the USPBL. We thank you for joining us here on YouTube and Facebook. If you're watching in the stadium on My Michigan TV, hope you're enjoying this lovely weather. We had a little bit of rain earlier, avoiding it now, hopefully the rest of tonight, and we can have a good evening of baseball between the Unicorns and the Hoppers. So we talked about how important this week is as we get near the playoffs that start in September. As we wind down, just about 6 public games left for all of these teams. We'll start with the Hoppers. They put themselves, as they ended last week, in a position to possibly move up to the 2nd seed. Previously thought they couldn't be able to do it. They just sit 3.5 games back of the Beavers at 15-20. Beavers 19-17 on the year. The Hoppers picked up back-to-back wins against those Beavers in Saturday's doubleheader, outscoring them by a total of 11-0, 5-0 in Game 1, 6-0 in Game 2, led by huge starts from Harry Orth and Derek Eddington. Orth went 5 innings, 3 hits, no walks, strikeouts. Eddington also went 5 innings, just 2 hits, 9 strikeouts for him. Neither gave up an earned run. Nobody did all day for the Hoppers. That was a really big win for them, especially when you add into the fact that the Beavers lost 3 in a row, and 5 out of their last 6, when they looked like they were going to be in a chase for first, they sit 5 games back of the Unicorns right now, 23-11. But possible trouble on the horizon for the Unicorns. They play 4 times this week, unprecedented what we've seen all year long. They'll play today, tomorrow, Friday, and also on Sunday. And that's really big when you look at the fact that this is a Unicorns team who we've talked about before, does not have a starter that they like to stretch out. None of the guys on their pitching staff really, we've seen this year, have gone more than 5 innings. We've seen them do a lot of bullpen days, a lot of games where we've seen 5 or 6 pitchers for the 9-inning games. Tonight could be another night like that. Austin Calopetro gets the start for the Unicorns, just the 2nd time all season he has started. So this is a big week for the Unicorns, trying to stave off everybody making that chase and that claim for first place. The last time the Unicorns met these Hoppers, it was a week ago today, and it was a big day for them. It was a close game, low scoring for a long time, just 3 runs for the Unicorns. They led 3-0 up until we got to the 8th, and then it was an 8-run 8th inning, capped off by a grand slam for Drew Galassi, his 2nd home run of the night that won that game for the Unicorns, really broke it open. 11-0 was the final. We have the highlights for you from last week's game. Check them out.
Oh, 1 fly ball to right. Schellenbarger watching it fly. It's gone near the Clinton River. My goodness, Drew Galassi. Grand slam, and this game is officially open.
Is this kid good or what? On SportsCenter Top 10 a week ago, a home run last weekend, and now 2 tonight, including a grand slam. So that's what happened last week. Unicorns with the big win, 11-0 over the Hoppers. And I spoke to co-manager Ryan Kottke before the game today, and he said the key for tonight is the starter, Andrew Verbruggie. Struggled a little bit with the walks lately, but high strikeouts, leads the league in innings pitched. He's been in tough situations before. This is a big game for him. He needs to have that curveball working, locate the fastball, keep the walks low if the Hoppers want a chance to pick up the win tonight, but their bats have kind of come alive. Noah Marcoux has been really good for them lately. Nick Kreitzer, Yadi Rivera, guys with a lot of plate discipline, hit the ball pretty hard. Sean Lawler has really turned it around in the last couple games for the Hoppers. The recipe is there. It's just about the execution. And for the Unicorns, obviously we know what their bats are going to do. They picked up a win on Sunday against the Mammoths in our Sunday evening game. They were down 6-5 since the 5th inning. That happened all the way into the 9th, and then they scored 2 in the 9th to take the lead. A clutch hit from John Hodo. 2 runs came around. They staved off the comeback from the Mammoths in the bottom of the 9th. Unicorns pick up their 23rd win of the season, trying to replicate that performance tonight. We'll be back on the other side of the break with starting pitchers and lineups on YouTube and Facebook. If you're watching in the stadium, it's going to be a good one tonight. Hope you enjoy it. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
How do these business owners find the time for peace of mind? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with Tryon, one of the nation's top professional employer organizations, provides access to top-tier health care and employee benefit plans and its team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
batting ninth. They're led on the mound by the aforementioned Austin Calopetro, making his second start. For the Hoppers, it's the usual Alex Pup at short batting first. Blake Porter bats second and plays out in center. Yadi Rivera, the hot corner at third, batting third. Noah Marcuse has slid into the new cleanup spot for the Hoppers. He's been really hot lately. He plays in left. Joe Burke is right behind him, batting fifth, and is the first baseman today. Nick Kreitzer, the designated hitter, batting sixth. Scott Combs gets a start behind the plate. He'll bat seventh. Sean Lawler made a couple nice catches in batting practice. See if that has any effect on live ball today. He bats eighth and plays out in right. And Christian Perez coming back again in his second game since dislocating his shoulder last weekend. Gets to start at second base and bats ninth. They're led on the bump by Andrew Verbruggie. It'll be key for Andrew to limit the walks tonight, limit the base runners against this potent Unicorns offensive lineup. Try to keep the run count low for his Hoppers offense, who has been good. As they announce the starting lineups, the anthem will be right after. We're going to step aside and take a quick break, but after that, it's time for baseball here from Jimmy John's Field on the US PBL Network.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
Check your check. If your account doesn't get you pumped, amped, or make the switch to Genius Checking from Genesis Credit Union. It's just genius.
We joined GreenPath and instantly felt a support around us.
They developed a plan on paper, and this is how we're going to do it.
The plan that they gave me was something that was sustainable. It was something I could do. It was actually lowering my payments monthly by hundreds of dollars.
Choosing GreenPath is a no-brainer.
Companies are competing for talent like never before. With the complexities of handling tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and other HR functions, it's easy to see how a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions makes all the difference. Tryon empowers businesses of all sizes to attract and retain talent by offering access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Sports is a proud partner of the USPBL. Big names, low prices, delivering value since 1937.
Starting lineups are complete. The anthem has been sung. We're just about ready to get underway here from Jimmy John's Field. We thank you for joining us. Your game time weather, 76 degrees, partly cloudy. Pretty sunshine here in downtown Utica. Sunset scheduled for about an hour and a half from now, 8:30 p.m. The lights will come on, and we'll be playing in the dark. Andrew Verbruggie right there gets the start tonight for the for the Hoppers. 13 appearances for him this year. All but one have been starts. A 5.31 ERA, leads the league in innings pitched with 61. Has given up 36 earned runs in those 61 innings, and we mentioned the walks have been a bit of an issue for him. It's 31 walks this season, 58 Ks. That's third best in the league for strikeouts. I was talking with Kottke before the game about Verbruggie's numbers and question whether it's more so some struggles on the mound or just the fact that he has been here the longest and has over 60 innings. And, you know, part of it is the fact that the more you're out there, the more walks you're going to have than other than a relief pitcher, for example, who's only got 15 or 20 innings. Andrew's got some of those guys tripled and quadrupled up, and that certainly plays a factor. The ERA is an interesting one for me, 36 earned runs. That gives him a 5.31 ERA, like we mentioned, and the eye test has been much better than what the numbers will say lately for Andrew. Let's take a look at the defense behind him. Out in left is Marcoux, in center is Porter, and in right is Lawler. On the corners, it's Yadi Rivera and Joe Burke. The double play combination is Alex Pupp and Christian Perez, and Scott Combs is behind the dish. It'll be Hodo, Attilis, and Galassi leading it off for the Unicorns. First pitch at 7:03 is an 87-mile-an-hour fastball. Ball one to Hodo. For Verbruggie, it's a four-seam fastball, curveball, changeup, and slider. There's another fastball fouled back to the screen. Hodo this season batting .301. This is his 30th game played this year. The ball and a strike fouled back. Hasn't been a lot of pop for Hodo, but when he gets on base, one of the best speedsters. This one to the left side. Pup, it's off his wrist, and Hodo's going to board safely. Third in the league in stolen bases with 9 this year for John. Goes up on the board as a hit, so an infield single to start things off for Hodo. Brings up Luis Attilis. He steps in with his .310 batting average right now. Been on fire in the last 12, 13 games or so for the Unicorns. When I do my game prep, I often, well, not often, every single time, write down the stats for each player in my own notes, and they're readily available for me on our websites as well. And always just pay attention the trends from the last time I recorded the stats to the previous time. Sometimes it's a game in between or 2 games or so. And for Attilis, I think from the last time to this time was the first time in about 12 or 13 games that his average was less than it was the last time I recorded it. He's just been red hot. One of the best doubles hitters in the league. He's got 7. That throw back to first gets past, and Hodo's going to go to second base, motoring around. He's got speed. He's going to get to third. Lawler finally picks it up over way in foul territory by JJ's apartment, and just like that, the leadoff infield single gets to third base on the errant throw. We referenced Hodo's speed more in talking about his stolen bases, but it's pivotal there as well. Not just in scoring position now, but anything in play will likely score John from third. Attila's facing a 1-1. Fastball out into right. Drops just foul. Boy, that looked like it was going to be probably another double for Luis. Not only has he been so good lately in getting base hits and doubles and gap to gap, but he's just been fantastic at simply getting on base. A .460 on base percentage for Luis. And that's a combination of the hits. He's been disciplined at the plate, more walks than strikeouts this year. And he's also been hit by a pitch 8 times. That's second most in the league. 1-2, fought off. Galassi is on deck. Him and Sikopoulos back-to-back, the only lefties in the lineup tonight for the Unicorns. 1-2 again. This one's on the ground. It'll score Hodo. Pup fires on the run. A little wide. Pulls Burke off the bag. Did he get back? No, he didn't. And perhaps Alex Pup just a little bit too rushed. RBI infield single for Luis. We'll actually see if that's an RBI or not, depending on if it goes up on the board as an error. It does, so that's the first error of the night for the Hoppers. E6 puts Attilas on first. Still nobody out. Third batter up in Galassi. Fastball outside corner for a strike. Verbruggie this year, pretty even, but a little bit better against lefties. They're hitting .222 this season. Galassi has, on the same side, been better against righties. He's got a near 300 average, the 1-1. Breaking ball in for a strike. One ball, 2 strikes the count. Attilas with a big secondary lead over there at first. He does wear the oven mitt, which means he's always a threat to run. Picked up his first professional stolen base last week. Has a short primary lead. He stays on the 2-2, swing and a miss. Galassi K's. First one tonight and the first out for Verbruggie. For Andrew, that's his 59th strikeout this season. He trails only Austin Shea and Trevor Jackson. Shea with a pretty healthy lead over Jackson and Verbruggie. He's got 72. Trevor Jackson in second place at 63. Good chance Verbruggie catches him tonight. The 1-0 to Sikopoulos. Curveball in for a strike again. Backdoored him a little bit. 1-1. First inning on the USPBL Network is brought to you by Ascension. Strongly, and I mean strongly, encourage everyone to chime in on the Facebook and YouTube chat sections tonight as I'm solo on this broadcast. I'll get some interaction going if you want to get involved. Try to answer any questions you may have. Start some conversations. It'll be a fun night. 1-2, fouled back. Sikopoulos We've talked about him ad nauseum this year, but far and away the best power hitter this league has seen. Leads the league in home runs, RBIs, OPS, slugging, second in walks. Swing and a miss. Andrew Verbruggie, back-to-back Ks to perhaps the two most unlikely candidates, Galassi and Sakopoulos, the most dangerous bats, and quickly 2 down for Noah Childress. How about this turnaround for Andrew? Leadoff infield single to John Hodo on the booted ball from Pup. And then Attilis reached first on an error from Pup. Hodo would score there after getting to third on the wild pickoff throw. There goes Attilis on the first pitch. Combs from his knees, fires, and Attilis is out by a mile. Dead to rights, didn't even slide, and for the second time in a week, Scott Combs strikes another runner at second base. That ends the inning. Let's take a look at our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Facts, as we always do here in the middle of the first on the USPBL Network. Minimum wage in 1950, oldies night tonight, was 75 cents per hour. Well, thank God that has changed. Still maybe could be a little bit more. Humans are the only animals that enjoy spicy food. I'm not a spicy person. Leave your comments if you are. I can't stand spicy food. Tic Tac mints are named after the sound their container makes, and that makes absolutely so much sense. If you're ever someone who carries Tic Tacs, you know everybody can hear you coming for a mile. Austin Calopitro's turn to get it started for the Unicorns here in the bottom half of the first. Take a look at the defense behind him. It's Bolin out there in left, Galassi in center, Brunson in right. De La Cruz and Sakopoulos are the cornermen up the middle, as it has been for a healthy chunk of this season. It's Attilis at short and Hodo at second, and Matt Parkinson, the everyday starting catcher for the Unicorns, rounding out the battery. Calopetro this season, we mentioned it's just his second start, 12th total appearance. Only 4 earned runs given up for him in just over 15 innings of work. He's quietly been really good this season as far as runs allowed. The walks have been an issue, 14 of them to just 16 strikeouts. Doesn't give up many hits, though, just 6 per 9 innings. That's in the top 10 among this league. But every hit is a little bit more crucial with those base runners on, and that's where those walks come into play. Pup, Porter, and Rivera here in the first for the Hoppers. Quickly down by a run here in the first inning. First pitch to Pup. Fastball inside. For Austin, it's a 4-seam fastball. Changeup and slider. See that slider less than 10%. The changeup around 18%. Another fastball heavy guy. And we say fastball heavy, and that's just in comparison to his other pitches. But the fastball around 3/4 of the time is, I would argue, to say league average. Not too many guys are below that, except for maybe some of the guys who have just 2 or 3 main pitches. You think of a Brian Camacho, a Perry Bewley for Unicorns examples, fastball slider kind of guys. Calopetro with just 3 pitches, not typically a starter. Most starters we see in the league have 4 or 5. But he's been in relief all year. Comes out of Maumee, Ohio. Spent his college days at Toledo. was teammates with Kyle Bischoff, Mammoth's closer, back when he was at Toledo before transferring to Michigan State. Bischoff, that is. The 3-1 is fought off foul by Pup. Pup this year batting .252. .331 on base. Does have a home run. That's been really the only power that we've seen from Pup this year. But he consistently makes contact. Gets it over the infielders' heads and gets on base. 3-2, fouled back. He's both a good and bad ball hitter, Pup, that is. He's top 10 in contact percent in both pitches inside the zone and outside the zone this season in the league. Payoff pitch. Fly ball to right. Brunson coming in, Hodo going back, and Brunson's camped there for the first out. Now it's the center fielder, Blake Porter. Las Vegas, Nevada native. 24 years old. 5-tool guy for this Hoppers team. Has been really good all season long. That has been perhaps his biggest struggle this season, the swing and miss. 44 strikeouts. That's the most of any hitter in the league, but batting .270 with a .348 on base is a pretty good counter to that. He's just aggressive at the plate. And when you take in his speed, second in the league in stolen bases, his defense he's had in center, a guy who's going to make a starting lineup on a lot of teams. .15 RBIs on the year for Porter. Decent pop, has 4 home runs, slugging the ball at .402. With the speed he has, stretches some gappers into doubles. That one's in on the hands. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the ground over the right side, and there's Hodo. 2 down. Calopetro, unsurprisingly, records another out against the lefty. 5 in the lineup tonight for the Hoppers, and that's good news for the Unicorns. And what we mentioned in the pregame, this is a really big game to start the week for the Unicorns. They play today, tomorrow, Friday, and Sunday, an unprecedented 4 games in 1 week. And they've held that first-place lead all season long, but if things don't go right this week, it could go really wrong if the Beavers pick up a few wins and make this interesting in what would be our final week before the season starts. But back to the lefties point, Calopetro, in now 27 at-bats against lefties, has given up just 1 hit this season. That's a bouncer back to the screen. Yadi Rivera at the plate, .235 average. Great plate discipline. Top 10 in almost any discipline category that matters. That's a nice fastball at 90, dotted from Calopetro for strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes. Rivera swings on the ground. Sakopoulos swung at it. It gets past his glove, and with 2 outs, Yadi gets on with a base hit. Kind of a tough play for Sakopoulos. Had it in between on the hops. Was do or die. That brings up a really good hitter in Noah Marcoux. Third lefty in a row from Porter, Rivera, and Marcoux in this lineup. That's just the second hit Austin Calipetro has given up to a lefty this season. 0-1 now on Marcoux. Multi-Apples on YouTube says, let's go Unicorns. Rooting for the purple and red tonight. Daryl Seelinger says, go Drew. Reference to Drew Galassi, spelled D-R-U-E. Trish Verbruggie says, come on, Hoppers, way to go, buddy. And in all caps, yes. Likely in reference to Andrew getting out of what could have been a really tough spot in that first inning, putting up just one on the board. Marcoux broke his bat on that last foul ball. He makes the long trek through foul territory all the way back to the dugout to get the replacement. We could probably run a commercial break in the time it takes for a player to walk all the way back there. And certainly no rush. Nobody's going to sprint or even jog back to the dugouts in the middle of an at-bat. Want to stay locked in, stay thinking about what this guy might throw next. It's been heavy fastball, as expected for Austin here in the first. There's an off-speed, but it misses. Marcoux's the beer batter of this game. Base hits will win the fans some free beer. 1-2 on the ground, and there is one. Rivera's rounding second. He's going to hold there. Back-to-back base hits. 2 on, 2 out now for Joe Burke. Hard hit ball for Noah Marcoux, and that's no surprise. He's one of the best in the league at doing that on a consistent basis. He leads the league in average exit velocity. That last one off the bat at 103. Hard hit with a capital H. Tough play for Sakopoulos diving over there at first. First pitch fastball outside edge for a strike. The infield is back, so is the outfield. Bolin in left is 2, maybe 3 steps from the warning track. Burke, a dangerous bat at any moment to hit it out there. And if you're just looking at the numbers, they don't quite tell the full story. 175 average for Joe is one of the lowest it's been all season long. The 1-1 is outside. He's been really good at that. Laying off some pitches. He just hasn't quite found the barrel in the last month or so as consistently as he did at the start of the year. Ryan Cockey said part of it is a mental thing, a confidence thing for Joe. 2-1. Swings at a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's what he has struggled with, seeing a hittable fastball. Just doesn't see too many with how dangerous he is. Pitchers tend to go around him. The 2-2 in the dirt. 91, best we've seen tonight from Calipetro. Full count. And to compound the problem for Burke, he's striking out on 34% of breaking balls. So when you're not seeing a lot of fastballs, well, you're seeing a lot of breaking balls. Here's the payoff pitch. The runners were ready to go, and Calipetro stepped off. They will be on the move. No infielders holding them on. Big pitch here. Hoppers trying to get on the scoreboard here early. already down a run. There they go, 3-2, fouled back. Just over the screen it goes into the gallery. We'll try the 3-2 again. Here it is, breaking ball inside, and now the base is loaded on the walk. Slider for Calopetro. Couldn't find it on the front door. And this is dangerous. Big country. Nick Kreitzer comes up with the bases juiced. Calopetro quickly got the first 2 outs of this inning. A fly out to right from Pup and a ground out to second base from Porter. Since then, single from Rivera, single from Marcoux, and a walk to Burke. Kreitzer first pitch swinging in on the hands and fouled. And after a walk, in what was a good fight, a good battle, 8 pitches to Joe Burke. This is not a guy you want to see up, though. 0-2. Kreitzer leads the league in total walks, walk percentage, and pitches per at-bat. He sees over 6. Him falling behind 0-2 doesn't mean much. There's a fastball high. Compile the walks with how hard Kreitzer hits the ball, and got to be asking yourself, well, where do I pitch it? The 1-2, that's down in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Leads the league in hard hit percentage, does Nick? We talked about Noah Marcoux being first in average exit velocity. Kreitzer is second. 2-2. And just like that, after being behind, no balls and 2 strikes, we've got another full count with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Calopetro trying to work himself out of a jam. This is good fight from the Hoppers here in the first inning. Haven't seen this in every game this year. Runners on the move, swing and a miss. He blew the 91-mile-an-hour fastball right by him. And Calopetro retires Kreitzer and leaves them loaded. 1-0 Unicorns after 1.
I'm all in with HR and Organizational Development Council.
I'm all in with Marketing and Business Development Council.
I'm all in with Operations and Member Experience Council.
I'm all in with CEO Council.
I'm all in with Lending Council.
I'm all in with CFO Council.
I'm all in with Technology Council.
Our credit union is all in with CUNA Councils.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward, not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
Welcome back to the ballpark. 1-0 Unicorns our score after one inning. And if you just looked at the scoreboard, you might think it wasn't a great first inning for Andrew Verbruggie, but that's on the contrary. 2 strikeouts for him, only 1 hit given up. The biggest issue were the miscues. An error from Alex Pup allowed Attilis to board. The run from Hodo, who was on third, was going to score anyways, but Hodo got to third on a wild throw from Verbruggie, trying to pick off Hodo at first base. But other than that, it was a good inning and perhaps lucky to get away with just 1. As a run had already come across and a man was on with nobody out, Verbruggie struck out the 2 best hitters in the lineup, Galassi and Sakopoulos. And then Attilis was caught stealing on a nice throw from Combs. And here's another great hitter in the lineup, Childress, the designated hitter today and all season long. Three balls and no strikes and a 4-pitch walk to start the inning. And this is the big spot here. See how Verbruggie responds to his first walk of the night. Third baseman De La Cruz now up. Has been in and out of the lineup this year. About roughly 3/4 as many games as some of the other starters. 21 this year for Adam. First pitch on the ground to Yachty. Boots it for a second. Still has time to go to second for 1. De La Cruz is safe at first. They get the leadoff man. So now here's Bolin. Fouls it back. Bolin the start and left today, and I've said it enough over the past few games, and he told me I have to quit saying it today because he officially has more starts in left than he ever did at first base. We talked about it a lot. Left field is a new position for him. Didn't play there at the start of the year. Hadn't never played there before in college or in high school. Hadn't played in the outfield. Was playing first and third mostly in college. That one's on the ground, foul. And it's been a learning process for Malik out there in left. The bat has stayed where it has been, and that's good because he's hitting .283 with a .761 OPS, 17 RBIs. It's been a very consistent bat all season long. But you could see when he was out there and left that there were some line drives, some of the tougher ones that are hit right to you, didn't quite have a beat on. And it's still a learning process. He's still out there in BP and getting extra reps, taking line drives in the outfield. But like he said, was joking around with me pregame today. I'm no longer a newbie in left. I've got more starts there. Now, over the course of his entire baseball career, it doesn't quite apply, but the 2-2, curveball outside. We've seen a lot of full counts already. 2 in the last inning for Calipetro. This is the first one Verbruggie has faced, but a couple 2-2 counts. De La Cruz waits over at first. Pretty big lead. He goes on the pitch. Bolin out to left. It's got some air under it, but this is a tough play. It's going to drop in front of 3 hoppers. Perfectly placed. And a base hit for Malik Bolin. boy, with how good some of those defenders are, you talk about guys like Pup and Porter with the speed that they have and how good they've been defensively, especially Porter in center, how quickly he's gotten to a number of balls this year. That one was just in the absolute perfect spot where nobody could get to it. Inside on Brunson, 1-0. Brunson just joining the USPBL and the Unicorns last week. 3 games played for him, off to a 3-for-8 start plus a walk in his pro career. Had a big double in the game on Sunday against the Mammoths. Early in that game, there were a lot of runs scored through the first 5 innings, 11 total. The game would finish with 13 total runs scored, 7 for the Unicorns and just 6 for the Mammoths. Finally saw the long ball in that game too. We had previously, before Sunday's game, gone 20-plus innings without a home run. And then we saw 3 in that game. Sam Loda, catcher for the Mammoths, had one. Buddy Dwayne Jr., outfielder for the Mammoths. And Ari Sakopoulos had his 11th of the year. Ball wasn't quite flying in batting practice. We'll see if it can jump off somebody's bat in this game. Brunson wouldn't offer. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's De La Cruz at second, Bolin at first. The shadows, as always, a factor here in the early innings of an evening game. Verbruggie is in the sunshine, but from 3 feet in front of him and beyond, it's all shadows. Brunson swings at the breaking ball outside, but just tips it. Every fielder except for Yadi Rivera over there at third could use the shades right now. Burke actually has some shadow at first base. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Third K for Verbruggie, big one with 2 on. That puts it now 2 down. Brings up the 2-man, the catcher, Matt Parkinson, bottom of the order. 8 faced for Verbruggie right now, only 2 hits given up, but we've seen 5 base runners. 1 on a fielder's choice, 1 on a walk, 1 on an error. And that's kind of been the story this season for the Unicorns. Just get on. Doesn't matter how, doesn't matter when. In a variety of ways, get on base. 1-0, Parkinson popped it up on the right side. Perez is there in the sunshine, and he'll make the grab. Verbruggie, again, 2 runners get on. No fret. He strands them there, and it's still just 1-0 Unicorns. Hopper's batting in the second on the other side of the break.
Every summer, my family loves to have a neighborhood movie night in our backyard. And with my Chevy Blazer, I can head out and get everything we need for a great night. It has plenty of room for picking up friends, and the available hands-free liftgate is perfect for loading unhandy supplies. You know, it may be movie night, but my Blazer is the main attraction wherever I go.
Lease a 2022 Blazer 2LT for just $239 a month for 24 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
Slide into a new home. Work with a local mortgage pro who works for you. Get a cheaper, faster, easier home loan. Find a mortgage broker near you today at findamortgagebroker.com.
It's time for Austin Calopitro's second inning of work. His first inning was a longer one. 6 batters faced, 2 base hits, a walk as well, but he did strike out Nick Kreitzer with the bases loaded and 2 outs to end the inning. A good response to what was a nice fight from the Hoppers to try to get on the board after an early run from the Unicorns. So that means here in the second, it's the bottom of the order. 7, 8, 9 hitters, Combs, Lawler, and Perez. Combs has been a nice new addition to the defense and the offense for the Hoppers. He's been great defensively in the past couple games. Already threw out a runner tonight. Threw one out, I believe it was in the doubleheader on Saturday of last weekend's games. He's off to a 4 for 14 start professionally. Here's the first pitch to Combs. He fouls it back. Still looking for that first pro home run or RBI. But perhaps for a catcher, maybe nicer or equally as nice just to get that first caught runner, and he's got 2 already. 1-1, and that's saying a lot. We want to stress that. There have been a lot of stolen bases this year, and if you look at the numbers, the caught stealing category, much of those are on pickoffs as well, or guys caught in rundowns in places they probably shouldn't have been. There have been very little true runners thrown out at a bag, especially second base. So it opens your eyes when someone can do it, and do it twice like Combs did. And the even more impressive thing was he did both of them from his knees. You want to talk about somebody with an arm? That's this guy. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the ground right side, Sakopoulos dives and won't get it. Into foul territory on the right side. Combs will just hang on to a single as Brunson quickly gets it in. Boy, that right side, Ari Sakopoulos in particular, has been very busy here in the first 2 innings. Both base hits last inning on the ground to right field. Past an outstretched Ari. The third one as well. And here's another candidate to hit it over to that side, the lefty Sean Lawler. He's been middle of the pack in a lot of categories. 250 average, does have a home run, 13 RBIs. For a guy that's been here since the start of the year, since spring training, those numbers aren't going to scream at you. But he's been consistently sound in the field, in the outfield. And there's a lot of value to that. And he's been patient at the plate. He's another guy in this Hoppers lineup, along with 3 or 4 others, who will work the pitch count. He sees more than 5 on average in every appearance. A .416 on base percentage for Sean. That's top 10 in the league. 1-2, little flare out to left. This is trouble. Racing Attilis. He won't get there. Combs thought about rounding second and going to third as both Attilis and De La Cruz were going for that little fly ball, but he'll hold it second. Back-to-back base hits. The Hoppers off to a pretty good start offensively tonight. Trying to convert it into a good start on the scoreboard. Here's Perez, second baseman today. Referenced his dislocated shoulder when reading the starting lineups. For those that weren't here. Perez in the doubleheader on not the doubleheader, on Sunday, 2 Sundays ago, August 7th. I believe it was against the Mammoths. Perez on a sliding ball at second base dislocated his shoulder. It popped out of its socket. He had to get it popped back in, left that game. Was able to come back pretty quickly. This is his second game back since that injury. Had a good game in the first one of the doubleheader on Saturday against the Beavers. 1-1. Popped foul. It scoots out of play. In that game against the Beavers, 2 for 2 with a run scored and a walk. Pretty surprising to see a guy come back that quickly from a dislocated shoulder, especially when he's dealt with it in the past. It was an injury he had issues with in college. Even had surgery on it to kind of strengthen the tissue in that shoulder. It was his left shoulder. Twos on the scoreboard. The pitch down the right field line and hooking foul out of play over to the Cabana Suites. On YouTube, Pigeon Powerhouse 76 says unicorns with an exclamation mark. That's who he's rooting for. Roddy Thomas Motorsports, Hoppers fan tonight, says let's go Hoppers, with 2 exclamation marks. Perhaps a little one-upping there, a little gamesmanship. The 2-2, fouled again. Perez staying alive, just a little late on that fastball. It's been a good one, consistently 89 to 91. We've seen multiple 91s from Austin tonight. Still 2-2. That's Combs at second and Lawler at first, both reaching on base hits. And another full count. This will be the 4th already in 9 batters for Austin Calopetro. The pitch count quickly climbing. Already it's at 46. Not what the Unicorns needed on a night where they would probably really like to stretch this guy as far as he can go. Fouled back. And if you're a Hoppers fan or manager in Ryan Kotke or John Dombrowski, this is what you love. Not only have some of these hitters worked full counts in 3 of the 4 already, they've been more than 6 pitches. Foul balls to stay alive. We'll try it again. 3-2. Another one. Perez will not quit. We'll see double digits in this at-bat. The 10th pitch on deck. Digs in, middle of that right-handed batter's box. Calopetro works middle of the rubber. The 3-2. That one's in play to Sakopoulos. Goes to second for 1. Attilis turns, has no play. So it's runners on the corners with 1 down. Lawler is out at second. That's Combs who advances to third. Put out goes 1-6 on the fielder's choice for Perez. First pitch to the top of the order, Pup in for a strike on the swing. On YouTube, Mitch Aker checks in, says, I hope both teams have fun. Well, Mitch, you're supposed to say that. Mitch Aker, obviously the pitching coordinator here at the USPBL. Mitch, I was going to have you on as a guest tonight, but Mitch not in attendance. Pup out to right field. That's got some distance, but it's foul. Into the Unicorns bullpen it goes. Brianda Valdez says, go Unicorns. No balls and 2 strikes on Pup. Big opportunity for the Hoppers to tie this game. Combs is the tying runner at third. In the dirt and outside, Parkinson does a nice job getting behind it. The USPBL is no stranger to runs scored on wild pitches. That's certainly in the cards here. Combs has enough speed at third to get home. On a ball with the right bounce for him. One, two, just a bit outside. 2-2 the count. Second inning brought to you by Budweiser on the USPBL network. The Clydesdales are going to be here tomorrow. Maybe we'll see them in the pregame show. Have them on as our guest speaker. Comment on Facebook and YouTube. Should we interview a Clydesdale tomorrow? I say yes. Still 2-2. That's under the zone. Boy, 5th full count for Austin Calipetro. 2nd in a row. Perez worked a full count and saw 10 pitches last at bat before he put it in play and reached on a 1-6 fielder's choice. Excuse me, 3-6 that was. So Sakopoulos. Perez going on the pitch. This one's up the middle. Attilis will not have time to go to second. Has to quickly get it across to first, and Pup is out. Boy, beat him by half a step. Combs scored on the play, and that was the hesitation from Attilis. He couldn't get Perez, who was running on the pitch, at second, so he tried to get Combs at home plate. Was going to be late on that, and boy, barely got Alex Pup at first, but he does get an RBI on the 6-3 ground out. Now tied at 1 for Porter with 2 outs and a man in scoring position. It's Perez. First pitch fastball, strike 1. Six batters faced in the first. Porter is the 5th here in the second. Fouls it back. Porter grounded out to second base his first time up. Calipetro aware of Perez, and he'll have to step off as time is called. Popped up left side. De La Cruz, a long run, just out of his reach. It scoots maybe 2 feet out of play and back to the stands. That's good news for Porter as he stays alive. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Blake Porter. Second strikeout for Austin Calopetro. Third out here in the second. But the Hoppers get one and tie this game at 1.
Companies are competing for talent like never before. With the complexities of handling tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and other HR functions, it's easy to see how a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions makes all the difference. Tryon empowers businesses of all sizes to attract and retain talent by offering access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
We joined Green Path and instantly felt a support around us.
They developed a plan on paper, and this is how we're going to do it.
The plan that they gave me was something that was sustainable. It was something I could do. It was actually lowering my payments monthly by hundreds of dollars.
Choosing Green Path is a no-brainer.
Top of the order here in the top of the third for the Unicorns, Hodo Attilis Galassi. Game now tied at 1 apiece. That one run for the Unicorns comes on 2 hits. No errors for the Hoppers. 4 hits already. They do have 1 error. First pitch to Hodo. Little liner right to Perez. L4 on 1 pitch and 1 up and 1 down. Here's Attilis. He reached on that Alex Pup error back in the first. First pitch fastball outside, 1-0 on Attilis. We talked about the high pitch count for Calopetro through 2 innings, over 50 pitches. Verbruggie right now just through his 41st through 2 1/3. In on the feet on Luis, and he does a little jig to get out of the way. Nice curveball. Gets the swing and miss. 74 miles an hour. Little League World Series has started, and I was watching some of that earlier today. 2-2 on the ground, charging Rivera in between on the hop, fires on the run. Nice play. Yachty with the second out. Pretty good over there at third base. Put out goes 5-3. But anyways, back to watching Little League World Series, and this comes to mind because that last curveball from Andrew Verbruggie was 74 miles an hour. And these kids are 12 years old, 8th grade for the most part, from all over the world, 10 American teams, 10 international teams playing in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. I was watching Nicaragua and Curacao this morning, which happened to be on. These 12-year-olds are throwing fastballs at 75 miles an hour. And now, I don't think if I got on the mound in full uniform and cleats with 0 accuracy and as much strength as I have, which is not a lot, I still don't think I could throw at 75 miles an hour. Pretty impressive for those 12-year-olds. 1-2-3 inning for Verbruggie here in the third as Galassi pops out, and that is your 5th third out of the game. Brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. So still 1-1 our score. And I don't see, usually this is when we see JJ come deliver some water to our umpires. I don't see him out there, so I think we're going to go ahead and do our DTE Kid Race the mascot. Ribby will be the mascot today. Trying to end the mascot's winless streak against the kids. I think Fletcher's already got him beat. And there it is, big lead for Fletcher to start. Waving those arms, he's quickly to second base. And he stops, even lets Ribby catch up, and now he's going to go in front. Look at this, Fletcher toying with Ribby a little bit. Around third, there he goes. Kotke waving him home. Ribby wipes the sweat. He's way behind, and Fletcher is going to win. Yet again, the mascots fall to the kids. So already, we talked about the high pitch count for Austin Calopetro. Well, his day is done. Jake Fiorito takes over here in the bottom of the third. He'll face Rivera, Marcoux, and Burke. Calopetro threw 59 pitches against 11 batters in just 2 innings. Only 1 run surrendered, but 4 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Fiorito has been a starter his fair share this season for the Unicorns. He's also done this, relieved a decent amount. And it's a little bit hard to tell with the Unicorns in the way they run their pitching staff, whether this was planned and we were only going to see Calopetro for 2 innings no matter what, or 60 pitches no matter what, or if this is kind of going off the way of the game. This will be Fiorito's 15th appearance. He's got 9 starts. Guy who's been here this entire season, 45 innings. Steps in a big spot. This Hoppers lineup has been pretty hot through the first 2 innings. Multiple base hits in both. Fiorito looking to shut that down here, keep this game locked at 1. Rivera checks his swing on the first pitch. Appeal to first didn't go. 22 runs this year for Jake, 17 of them earned. Outside edge for a strike. 1-1. 17 walks, 30 Ks. Outside edge for a strike again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Jake, it's a 2-seam fastball. Curveball, slider, changeup. Mainly 2-seam and curveball, over 80% combined. Rivera, high pop-up with a capital H. Hodo waits for a long time and makes the grab. So that'll bring up Marcoux to face Fiorito. Second lefty he'll face in this inning. Pretty equal splits against lefties and righties, right around average. 246. A little bit better for Jake against lefties. First pitch inside. Fly ball, right field, quickly going, carrying, gone! Noah Marcoux just can't stop hitting the ball. It's 2-1 Hoppers. He jumped on a slider at 76 and took it yard, and the Hoppers get their first lead of the game here in the third. How about Marcoux? My goodness, he is tearing the cover off the ball right now in the last month. First pitch to Burke, outside for ball one. Fastball 88 in for a strike. For Marcoux, that's his second home run this season, 18th RBI. It's a big one. Just feels like the Hoppers have had the momentum ever since Andrew Verbruggie got back-to-back strikeouts to Galassi and Sakopoulos, and then Scott Combs threw out Attilis at first, back in the first inning. Since then, it's been 5 hits and 2 runs for the Hoppers. Only 1 hit since then for the Unicorns. A lot of baseball left, but this is a surprising and good early energy boost from a Hoppers team who often waits till later in the game to show this. 2-2 on Burke. Fastball outside. Full count. Popped foul. We saw a lot of full counts for Calipetro. He threw against 5, and that was a big factor in his high pitch count. 59 pitches for him through 2 innings. Full count again, and Burke walks. Second time today, and while I'm sure Joe Burke would like to hit the ball, and we talked to Ryan Kottke, and, you know, we said finding barrels is the key for him, but not striking out will help that confidence too. He watched a breaking ball, slider, go by. That's the pitch he's had the most struggles with. Strikes out 34% of the time on breaking balls. Lays off that one there. That'll boost the confidence a little bit. Now a man on for Nick Kreitzer, still only 1 down. First pitch fouls it back on the fastball. A 1 curveball. 1-1. There's another one that gets past. Burke now in scoring position. Two balls and a strike on Kreitzer. Third inning here on the USPBL Network, brought to you by Chevrolet. Back up the box. Past Hodo, a base hit. Burke's being waved around. The throw from Galassi. That's wide, and Parkinson grabs it as Burke scores, and Kreitzer slides into second base. It's 3-1 Hoppers. RBI base hit for Nick Kreitzer, his 10th RBI this year. Kreitzer gets to second. That's probably a single, and then he gets the extra base on the throw from Galassi. 6th hit already for the Hoppers. Brings up Combs. Fastball high and in. Michael Dobbs on YouTube says, go Hoppers from Las Vegas. Terra Hodo says, let's go Unicorns from Chicago. I'm seeing a good mix here tonight. Seems like a good 50-50 right now, Hoppers and Unicorns. Combs hits this on the ground to Attilis. Kreitzer advances to third. De La Cruz gets it. No, he's safe. Kreitzer avoided the tag. What a nice play. I was even surprised Attilis went to third. De La Cruz was a little out of position trying to get back to the bag. And kind of looking at it on the YouTube, Kreitzer just turns that body a little bit. Umpire said he didn't put the tag on, and Combs reaches on the fielder's choice. Don't often see a 6-5 fielder's choice. Dan Mueller says, go Brendan. I appreciate that, Dan. And also shout out to Mike on the flight scope. Hard hit on the ground, foul from Lawler. Mueller, obviously our former, we'll call him the flight scope attendant up here in the booth, giving Jeremy and I all the numbers and flight scope information we need. He has since moved back to college up at that nasty school down the road that wears those blue and yellow colors. Mike Kraft is a Spartan up here in the booth, taking over for Dan. On the ground to Attilis again. Kreitzer's going to head home. Second for one, relay to first. Lawler beats it out, and that'll score a run. Nice hustle right out of the box by Sean Lawler to score Kreitzer. That's the 4th run for the Hoppers. So back-to-back fielder's choices. That one goes 6-4. Now it's the bottom of the order, number 9 hole hitter, Christian Perez. Mitch Aker says, Brendan, I'll get you to LLWS velocity in no time, in reference to the Little League World Series conversation earlier. I don't doubt that you could, Mitch. I just doubt that I could. And it's less of a knock on me. It's more of a shout out to these kids who are 12 years old throwing 75 miles an hour. Not just that, these kids are throwing sliders and changeups, and it's unreal. Kid from Curacao today threw, I think, 5. They only play 6 innings in the Little League World Series. I think through 5 complete innings, maybe 5 1/3. 86 pitches and 14 strikeouts. He took a no-hitter into the 4th inning. Pretty impressive stuff. Oh, 2 to Perez is high with the fastball. Swing and a miss. Perez chased the curveball in the dirt, and Fiorito gets out of an eventful inning. Comes in relief, and 3 runs come across. The big blast from Marcoux is a solo shot that starts it, and then Burke and Kreitzer both score as well. It's now 4-1 Hoppers as we head to the 4th.
Companies are competing for talent like never before. With the complexities of handling tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and other HR functions, it's easy to see how a professional employer organization like Tryon Solutions makes all the difference. Tryon empowers businesses of all sizes to attract and retain talent by offering access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
We joined GreenPath and instantly felt a support around us.
They developed a plan on paper, and this is how we're going to do it.
The plan that they gave me was something that was sustainable. It was something I could do. It was actually lowering my payments monthly by hundreds of dollars.
Choosing GreenPath is a no-brainer.
Get great seats, safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. Choose great seats from over 125,000 live events, all backed with a TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Get your tickets smarter at TicketSmarter.com.
Hoppers score 3 runs in the third. They now take a 3-run lead. And it was a 1-2-3 inning last time for that man, Andrew Verbruggie. Top of the order, Hodo, Attilis, and Galassi all went down on contact outs. So it'll be Sakopoulos, Childress, and De La Cruz here in the top of the fourth. And checking in on Facebook, Trish Verbruggie, a couple minutes ago, talking about that 1-2-3 inning, says that's a good 1-2-3, Hoppers. Let's score some more runs. Gives a cheer for Noah Marcoux on his solo shot. And she also says, always appreciate the announcers. Your guys' comments on all of the players are always so incredibly kind. Well, thank you, Trish. We really appreciate that. That's what it's all about. Just trying to share what cool and interesting and insightful information we find about these guys. Pitch is low to Sakopoulos, 2-0. A personal touch, too. My mom's name is Trish. Patricia, but we call her Trish. 2 balls, no strikes. Fouled by Sakopoulos. He struck out his first time up. And this matchup, Verbruggie and Sakopoulos, has been an interesting one. I've had so much fun doing these Hoppers Unicorns games all season long. As Sakopoulos swings at the second strike. But it's always interesting to see how guys attack Ari. He's a fastball hitter. He's punished a lot of fastballs this year. Most of them for home runs, 30-plus RBIs. Some guys still throw it to him. Some guys avoid it. They'll pitch around. He's been walked in the top 3 among players in this league. But it seems like Verbruggie has had his number this year. There's been a few at-bats, a few battles between these guys where Sakopoulos even gives a little nod of approval, of credit to Verbruggie after the fact. And there it is, swing and a miss. Second time today, Ari goes down. That one on the curveball. That's kind of what we're talking about. And that's a big thing for Andrew, I think. You know, you look at the ERA, you look at the walks. Okay, those aren't great, but if you can get out the best hitters in this Unicorns lineup, you're doing something right. Between Childress, Sakopoulos, and Galassi, in 5 plate appearances, only Childress has reached, and it was on a walk back in the second. And there's 3 strikeouts, 2 to Sakopoulos, 1 to Galassi. All of these guys are hitting near or above 300. On the ground, Perez can't get there as it squirts under the glove of Verbruggie as well, and a base hit for Noah Childress. So De La Cruz digs in. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Pitch outside, 89 on the fastball for Verbruggie. That's where it's been all year. Rounding up, it averages 90. He's gotten it up to 94. Pops it up right side. Perez again. Put down another P4 in the scorebook. Ooh, made it a little close, but does record the out. Here's Bolin, Fort Worth, Texas native. Helped bring in a newcomer for the Mammoths, Connor Emmett, right fielder for them. Played together growing up. Connor's from the Dallas area. Knew Malik was playing up here. Asked him about playing and got his way here. Quick little liner to Perez. A nice grab. Christian Perez has been busy today defensively ever since the second inning, and he's done a nice job. One base hit, but that runner gets stranded. 4-1 Hoppers.
Why are all these business owners smiling? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with one of the nation's top professional employer organizations provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and Tryon's team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
Throughout your life, from big moments to ones well-earned, we're your financial guardian angel. Alliance Catholic Credit Union.
It's the Hoppers 4, the Unicorns 1. We're here in the bottom of the fourth, quickly moving along, about an hour and 20 minutes past first pitch. Top of the order, Pup, Porter, and Rivera in the fourth. Against Fiorito, came in last inning. Struggled through it, 7 batters, 2 hits, and 3 runs, including a big fly from Noah Marcoux. He could bat this inning if the Hoppers get a base runner. Pup is 0 for 2 tonight. A fly out and a 6-3 ground out. Did get an RBI on that ground out to short. He scored Combs. Ball and a strike to Pup. Curveball away. Stephen Natushko says, let's turn Hodo into a pitcher so the Twins come and get him. Tara Hodo says, love it, host dad Natushko. The host dad of John Hodo, second baseman today. Yeah, the Twins have almost turned the USPBL into a feeder league for them. They've picked up a lot of guys out of here. Pierce Banks, former Hoppers pitcher, they picked up at the start of this season. It's been hard for guys to get signed all across baseball, not just in the USPBL this year, with the draft moving later and there being less picks this year in the draft. The minor league rosters have been cut down. There's guys with affiliate level experience, double and triple A, who are not getting signed by affiliate teams and playing in some independent leagues. It's just a tough time to be a minor leaguer right now anywhere. In the dirt, and Pup walks on the 3-2. Second walk for Fiorito. Third total for Unicorns pitchers tonight. Porter 0 for 2 as well to go along with Pup. Don't say that too often, that both of these guys are 0 for in their first two appearances in the same game. Porter grounded and struck out in the first and second innings. Hard hit on the ground. Sakopoulos, nice diving play. He'll go to second, and it's wide into left field. There goes Pup to third. Porter is going to race to second, and now he's safe. Just has not been the defensive game the Unicorns wanted right now. Part of it has been unlucky. That's the first error that goes on the board. And now two, not just two runners, two fast runners in scoring position for Yadi Rivera, who's already got a base hit today. He singled back in the first. First pitch to Yadi, fastball high and outside. Talking about the Unicorns defense, just got a little unlucky in the last couple innings. We've already seen 3 fielders' choices from them. A 3-6 fielder's choice in the second. A 6-5 one that did not result in an out in the third. A 6-4 fielder's choice to just get one. They haven't been able to turn the double play, haven't been able to get the lead runner. It's part of the reason the Hoppers are up 4-1 right now. Squirts away from Parkinson. He'll grab it. And now the error this inning. Sakopoulos has been really busy over there at first base, and not a lot of them have resulted in outs. Rivera's single in the first. That went right past Sakopoulos, who was diving for that ball. 2-1. There it is, right to Ari. He'll check the runners back to their respective bases and step on the bag. So unassisted ground out for the first out. But, I mean, you look at some of these singles. Yadi, single to right. Noah Marcoux, single to right. Scott Combs, single to right. Marcoux, home run to right. The last 2 balls put in play have gone right Ari's way. So no surprise there. They'll intentionally walk Marcoux to load the bases and get to Burke. Marcoux's 2 for 2 with a home run. That came last inning. Absolute blast that got out of here on a line to right field against the guy on the mound right now, Jake Fiorito. Came in to start the third. It's been 34 pitches since then. First pitch to Burke, curveball way outside. Marcoux at first, Porter at second, Pup at third. None have reached on a base hit this inning. Burke already the 5th batter here in the 4th. Fastball, fly ball, left field. Galassi going back at the track, at the wall. He jumps, he did it again! Unreal! Pup scores on the tag from third. Drew Galassi. Stop it! He made SportsCenter top 10 plays 2 weeks ago for the exact same thing. Robbing a home run over the wall in left center. And man, that's just like the first one. I didn't think he had any chance to get to that ball. What a play, Drew. Pup still scores. It's an RBI sac fly for Joe Burke. Porter tagged from second and went to third. Marcoux had to stay where he was at first base, so it's first and third with 2 outs for Kreitzer. One ball, no strikes, and on the feet. Strikeout in the first, single and score, and an RBI for Kreitzer in the third. This one's out to center. Galassi going back. On the warning track, just in front of the wall. Doesn't have to do any superhero spectaculars this time. Another SportsCenter top 10 worthy play from Drew Galassi, but one more run does come across. It's 5-1 Hoppers.
Stroke, heart attack, chest pain, injury, ERs at Ascension Michigan hospitals are ready 24/7, delivering the right care at the right time. As a chair of emergency medicine at an Ascension Michigan hospital, I understand the importance of timely ER care. What's different? Experienced care teams and board-certified doctors who take the time to listen. You are connected to on-site lab and imaging, pharmacy, and leading-edge care with specialists in cardiovascular services, neuroscience, orthopedics, and more. Choose ERs at Ascension Michigan hospitals.
Get great seats, safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. Choose great seats from over 125,000 live events, all backed with a TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Get your tickets smarter at ticketsmarter.com.
Well, it's 5-1 Hoppers. It should be 8-1. Joe Burke in the last inning had a grand slam absolutely stolen from him by Drew Galassi out in left center. And we just can't say enough about Drew. My goodness, what a play that was. It looked exactly like, and I mean exactly like that SportsCenter top 10 play a couple weeks ago. If you haven't seen it, click on our account right now on YouTube if you're on the YouTube and go watch it. It should be in there in one of the recent videos. Absolutely unreal what Drew did to rob Brian Leaf of a very clutch home run in that game. That would have given the Mammoths 3 runs in that game and tied it early in the first. The Unicorns eventually went on to win that game by only a run in extras after Galassi got the walk-off base hit. And then in this one, trailing by 3 already. He robs Burke of a grand slam that would have broken this game open early. Now the Unicorns are still just right in it. 4 runs is nothing for this potent lineup. Here in the 5th, it'll start with Brunson, followed by Parkinson, and then the top of the order, John Hodo. Brunson struck out his first time up. Verbruggie's got 4 strikeouts tonight to just 1 walk. Fastball in there. Burke did get an RBI on the sacrifice fly because Pup tagged from third. Check swing, and they got him on strikes anyways. 5th one for Verbruggie. Struck out Sakopoulos twice already, and now Brunson. Parkinson's 0 for 1. There's only 3 hits in this lineup right now for the Unicorns. 6 base runners, and that one hits him. Parkinson will be the 7th base runner tonight. 5th inning on the US PBL Network, brought to you by Dunham's. First pitch bender in there for a strike. Hodo singled and scored in the 1st. Lined out last time. Front door. Got him for strike 2. Boy, 74, 73, and then 90 up and in. Heading right for the hands. Pretty good mixing by Verbruggie. Impressive by Hodo just to foul it off. See where they go here. Fastball again. Got him looking, strike 3. Verbruggie's got 2 this inning. Last time he did that was the 1st inning. 6 total. Only 1 walk for him tonight. 2 down now for Luis Attilis. Man on first, it's Matt Parkinson. Attilis again inside, and he's one of those guys, you know, you would think 8 hit by pitches is a lot this year for Luis Attilis. It's 2nd in the league. And if you're thinking the number's 9 or 10, you're wrong. Houston Parker for the Mammoths has been hit 14 times this year. But still 8 for Attilis is a lot. We talked about that being a big part of it, or a contributing factor, I should say. Maybe not a big part of his on-base percentage at .460. Already has gotten on base once today, reached by error his first time up. But I asked him about it, and he said, I don't know. I asked him why. He says, I have no idea. He said, I don't stand in on the plate. I don't crowd the plate. I'm, middle of that batter's box, and he is. Has just been unlucky. Jeremy and I have talked about it, kind of like Noah Childress. He seems to always get those mistake pitches, those curveballs or changeups that are released way too early and go behind his head. Attilis just gets those fastballs that are a little early near those knees. Knock the hair off your elbows. It's now a full count. Combs commanding the defense, reminding them 2 down. Verbruggie's already struck out 2 in this inning. Check this swing. They got him. Curveball again. Verbruggie strikes out the side. And the Hoppers dominating here through 4.5 innings. Just 2 hits for the Unicorns. They're down 5-1.
Dunham Sports is a proud partner of the USPBL. Big names, low prices, delivering value since 1937.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better, which means we put 166.7% into everything we do.
I think you can only give 110%.
Well, with free checking, fraud protection services, and an automatic savings tool to help you quickly reach your goals, 166.7% is possible.
Oh, wait till my 8th graders hear about this. They're gonna be like, it's not possible. But yes, it is.
This is banking, a Fifth Third better.
Still Jake Fiorito on the mound for the Unicorns. Here in the bottom of the 5th, he'll face in the Hoppers lineup, the bottom of the order, Combs, Lawler, and Perez. And that is not easy tonight. Those guys, in 6 plate appearances, have reached 5 times. Perez, the only one who hasn't reached twice. He struck out his last time up. Combs reached on a single and a fielder's choice in the 2nd and 3rd innings. Lawler, a single and fielder's choice. Perez reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. Again, if you're a Unicorns fan just tuning in, 5-1 looks bad, but it should be worse. Should be 8, but Galassi, a home run, grand slam, I should say, robbing catch out in left center field last inning. Surprising thing about that, Hoppers had the bases loaded, a run came across, and nobody got a base hit last inning, and 6 batters faced. Combs on the first pitch grounds out to De La Cruz at 3rd. Fiorito quickly gets a much-needed out. The Silver Shakers here today on Oldies Night, showing off some of their dance moves in between innings. First pitch to Lawler, barely gets out of the way. Curveball inside. One ball, no strikes. Outside, off the glove of Parkinson. Verbruggie has been pretty good through 5, excuse me. There's a little bit of action in the Hoppers bullpen. Expect him to go 6 probably. 2-1. Ryan Cockey said they were planning on having a little bit of a shorter leash for Andrew tonight if the walks posed an issue. He might not stay in as long, but only 1 tonight for him. 7 Ks. Unicorns pitchers have struck out just 3. Walked 4, and that's including an intentional walk to Noah Marcoux last inning. Two the count. Got him looking. Second strikeout for Jake Fiorito. And we might be feeling the momentum shifting here a little bit. If Fiorito can go 1-2-3 here after nearly giving up 4 runs last inning, that will be huge. Needs some help on the offensive side. Unicorns haven't sent more than 4 batters to the plate in 3 innings. Perez, first pitch, flared out to center. Galassi coming in on it, and on the run, he'll squeeze it. 3 up, 3 down. Just what Fiorito needed. We'll head to the 6th.
There are many things you can rely on in this world, like a sunny day brightening your mood, your mom baking the world's best apple pie, and never a dull moment in running your business. And when it comes to time-consuming HR tasks, you can rely on Tryon. Tryon can handle payroll and taxes, employee benefits, and more, so you can stay focused on attracting and retaining the best talent. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
What makes Detroit Mercy so unique is the fact that it's in the middle of Detroit, and especially with their service learning programs, you really get a chance to be a part of the community.
Detroit Mercy. Build a boundless future.
Well, it's time for the 6th inning, and when it's time for baseball, it's time for beer. Two Hearted Ale has been named the #1 beer in America for the past 4 years by members of the American Homebrewers Association. Play ball with the best. Two Hearted Ale, the iconic American IPA from Bell's Brewery in Comstock, Michigan. Please drink responsibly. Verbruggie heads out there for the 6th, going against Galassi, Sikopoulos, and Childress. He's been great against Drew Galassi and Ari Sikopoulos tonight. See if that home run robbing catch can breathe some offense into Drew Galassi's bat. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Sikopoulos is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. That hasn't happened a lot this year. He got a very well-deserved loud cheer after that catch out in left center, and he gets a loud cheer when he comes up to bat here. A fan favorite simply for the plays he makes. Add in the fact that he's a pretty good dude, too. Hard not to root for this guy. 90 on the fastball outside. Fly ball center field pretty high. It's not going to have the carry. Porter's got a lot of moving to do, and he'll make a grab sliding. Boy, there isn't any wind. It's a weird dark blue night sky right now. Porter had trouble tracking it, but still able to make the play. That's all that matters. So now Ari for the 3rd time tonight. We mentioned he's struck out twice already. He's played in 32 games this year. This is 33. Only 7 times has he struck out 2 or more times. Only once has he struck out 3 times in a game. He's got good plate discipline. He'll wait for his pitch. And a lot of guys won't give it to him. They'll just pitch around him. Verbruggie, the opposite. He's gone right at Ari almost every time we've seen this matchup. The 1-1. Curveball. Strike 2. I think Ari wanted to jump on that one. Maybe frustrated he didn't. 6th inning brought to you by Fifth Third Bank. There's a good shot of the Chevy Pavilion out in left. Pretty good crowd for a Wednesday night. Glad you could join us. Did he tip it? He did, but it's into the glove of Scott Combs, and there it is. Just the 2nd time this year, Ari Sikopoulos 3 strikeouts in a game. That's the second out here in the 6th. Galassi and Sakopoulos, a combined 0 for 6 right now against Verbruggie. The heart of this order, 3-4-5, only successful one has been this guy, Childress. Walk and single in his first 2 at-bats. Hard hit on the ground to Pup. Few steps. Punch in, punch out. 1, 2, 3 go the Unicorns in the 6th. They trail by 4, and the Hoppers are going to step up to bat.
Every summer, my family loves to have a neighborhood movie night in our backyard. And with my Chevy Blazer, I can head out and get everything we need for a great night. It has plenty of room for picking up friends, and the available hands-free liftgate is perfect for loading unhandy supplies. You know, it may be movie night, but my Blazer is the main attraction wherever I go.
Lease a 2022 Blazer 2LT for just $239 a month for 24 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Make your move with a quick and easy mortgage from Genesis Credit Union. We have mortgages to fit your life. Genesis Credit Union. Visit us today.
It's now Perry Bewley's turn for the Unicorns here in the bottom of the 6th. Jake Fiorito goes 3 innings in relief. Only 2 hits given up, but 3 runs come across. 3 walks as well if you count the intentional walk. 2 strikeouts, and the big hit for Fiorito was the solo shot from Noah Marcoux that gave the Hoppers their first lead of the game. That was with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. They haven't looked back since. 3 more runs since then makes it 5-1 right now. Fiorito did a nice job in the 5th going 1-2-3, including a strikeout to end his day. Hoppers' offense has been good, but they've got their work cut out for them with Bewley on the mound. He's been shut down all season long. 19 appearances for him, 2 saves, 26 2/3 innings, and a sub-2 ERA. 1.35 for Perry. One of the most impressive things about him to me is that he's done all of this with essentially 2 pitches. It's a 4-seam fastball, slider, and changeup, and the changeup is only thrown 8% of the time. Really relies on the 4-seam and slider. High spin rate, high velocity. Swing and a miss, 84 on a darting slider. That's the average. Pup, Porter, and Rivera top of the order. Leading off the 6th. On the ground to Sakopoulos. Under his glove. Hodo's there. Throw to first. Not in time. Pup is safe. Bewley thought they beat him. Just hasn't been Ari's night tonight. Goes up on the board as an error. Second one tonight for the Unicorns and for Ari. Now here's Porter. First pitch swinging, popped him up on the left side. De La Cruz has already made this long run once, didn't get to grab it. This time he does. And that's the first out. That fastball for Perry on that pop-up in at 91. That's the average for him there as well. Perry, a Chardon, Ohio native. Played at Ashland in college. 9 walks, 41 strikeouts this year. Some of the best numbers in those categories in the league. Pickoff move, works Pup back. Lined into left and a base hit for Yadi Rivera. He's now 2 for 4. That's his second base hit tonight. See what they do with Marcoux here. Intentionally walked last time, so he's reached in all 3 appearances. 2 of them on hits. Solo and a home run. They're going to pitch to him with Bewley. That's not really a surprise. First pitch, 88 outside. I feel like that's probably the fastball on the low end. Maybe it was the changeup for Bewley. He does still use it a little bit, but very sparingly. 1-0, swing and a miss. 88 again. And some arm side run, according to Flight Scope on that pitch. That probably is the changeup. 1-1 now. Fastball low. Bewley has been better against lefties than righties, and he's been shut down. 167 batting average for lefties this season and 42 at-bats against Perry. 2-1 slapped foul late on the slider. Pup waits at second, Rivera at first. Only 1 out. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Marcoux. First time today he hasn't boarded. It's the first strikeout for Bewley. We'll bring up Burke. He was the one who was robbed from Drew Galassi his last time up. Did get an RBI. Goes in the book as a sacrifice fly to the center fielder. Pup was the one that scored. Chance for Burke to repeat that here. RBI and Pup scoring with a base hit maybe. Outfield is deep. Decreasing depth going left to right from Bolin, Galassi to Brunson. Really doesn't matter how deep Drew is out there in center field. He'll be able to make, or at least get to, almost any ball hit that way. As we've already seen tonight. The 1-1 in the dirt. Another slider away on Burke, and he's facing a 3-1. Already walked twice. Both of them came in full counts in the first and third innings. Here's the 3-1, and that's in for a strike. So for the third time today, Joe Burke will face 3 balls and 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 out. Runners will be going on the pitch. Here it is. On the ground. Hodo is behind it, and he'll make the play. Hoppers threaten, but nothing doing. We'll head to the 7th. It's 5-1.
Every summer, my family loves to have a neighborhood movie night in our backyard. And with my Chevy Blazer, I can head out and get everything we need for a great night. It has plenty of room for picking up friends, and the available hands-free liftgate is perfect for loading unhandy supplies. You know, it may be movie night, but my Blazer is the main attraction wherever I go.
Lease a 2022 Blazer 2LT for just $239 a month for 24 months. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
We build roads, bridges, wind farms, and pipelines, schools to skyscrapers. Our members create monuments. We operate. We're the operators and mechanics behind the advanced heavy machines that move Michigan forward. We maintain boilers and HVAC. Our members run the complex heating and cooling systems that we all depend on. Our training is second to none, and safety is our priority. We are Operating Engineers 324, and we keep Michigan running.
Get great seats, safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. Choose great seats from over 125,000 live events, all backed with a TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Get your tickets smarter at ticketsmarter.com.
Well, bathroom breaks don't lend themselves too well for solo broadcast. De La Cruz gets hit by the pitch on the first pitch here in the 7th. Verbruggie still out there on the mound. Now Bolin steps in. Brunson is on deck. First pitch. Perez, nice play on the hop. Second for one. Relay to first. Double play. Nice job. Hit by pitch is immediately negated on the 4-6-3 twin killing. And just like that. Only 2 pitches this inning for Verbruggie, and he's got 2 outs. Pitch count for Andrew right now sits at 84. Likely his last inning. The bullpen has been busy for about 2 innings now. But with the low pitch count, we could see him come out for an 8th. Swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 on Brunson. This is the longest Verbruggie has gone yet this year. has not gone more than 6 complete. Right now at 6 2/3. He's only done 6 complete twice as well. That's in the dirt and gets away from Combs. Brunson has struck out twice in both appearances tonight. One, two. That one gets away from Verbruggie. Swing and a miss. Down goes Brunson the 3rd time on strikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Verbruggie. A career high. Now it's time for the 7th inning stretch here on the USPBL Network. I'm soloing it tonight, oh God. Ball game, take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back, for it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. I apologize. 7th inning stretch, 5-1. Hoppers lead it on the USPBL Network.
Why are all these business owners smiling? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with one of the nation's top professional employer organizations provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and Tryon's team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
One thing that makes Detroit Mercy unique and different from other universities is that the faculty truly care about you and they're always there to help. Whether it's asking questions after class or going into the office hours, they're always there to lend a hand and really make you feel at home.
People are here to work together, and whether you have a question or you're discussing topics within the class, you can go up to your professor and they know your name. They're just willing to help you become a better overall student.
Detroit Mercy. Build a boundless future.
Time for the bottom of the 7th. Ray Rodriguez gets the call from the pen. So Perry Bewley just gets 1 inning of relief. It'll be Ray Rod here against Kreitzer, Combs, and Lawler. 6, 7, 8 hitters. In the 7th, down by 4 are the Unicorns. Offense has just been absolutely shut down tonight by Andrew Verbruggie. A career high start for him. 9 strikeouts. That's his career best. 7 complete innings. That's his career best. All of that with just 1 walk. Absolutely the perfect start that he and the Hoppers needed to try to get back in this playoff race. They've got a chance for 2nd place. Haven't done the math on if they could get 1st place or not. I think it'd be tough. Only about 6 games left. They only trail the Beavers by 3.5 games, and they picked up 2 wins over those Beavers on Saturday in the doubleheader. Kreitzer's at bats tonight as follows: strikeout, RBI single and a run scored, and then a flyout. 1 for 3. Ball and strike is outside. Fly ball out of play. Foul down the left side. For Ray Rod, it's a 2-seam fastball, changeup curveball, and a 4-seam fastball. Only 4 appearances this year, just joined the league last week. 1 inning in each appearance, the 2-2. On the ground, over the mound. Here's Hodo charging on the run across his body. Nice throw. 4-3 for the first out. And for Ray, 3 runs so far, all of them earned. 4 walks to 2 strikeouts. Scott Combs has reached twice in 3 appearances today. Single and fielder's choice. Curveball in there for strike 1. Swings at that one. A little early on the ground to third. Fastball for Rodriguez sits at 89. We've already seen him once touch 93. That was with the 2-seam. The 4-seam has gotten as high as 91. Changeup drops down to 84, and the curveball is mid-70s. Curveball, strike 1. Looks good tonight for Ray. That's the changeup outside. Lawler singled his first time up. That was a little blooper to left. He reached on a fielder's choice as well in the 3rd inning. Struck out last time. That was in the 5th. Tipped into the glove for strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Lawler somehow gets to that pitch outside, and it's a foul ball. Ray Rodriguez tried to backdoor him with the curveball. I think Lawler was geared up for the fastball. Got him looking, strike 3, bottom of the zone. Rodriguez dots the fastball at 91, and it's a 1-2-3 7th for the Unicorns. We head to the 8th. Same score, 5-1.
Stroke, heart attack, chest pain, injury. ERs at Ascension Michigan hospitals are ready 24/7, delivering the right care at the right time. As a chair of emergency medicine at an Ascension Michigan hospital, I understand the importance of timely ER care. What's different? Experienced care teams and board-certified doctors who take the time to listen. You are connected to on-site lab and imaging, pharmacy, and leading-edge care with specialists in cardiovascular services, neuroscience, orthopedics, and more. Choose ERs at Ascension Michigan hospitals.
First State Bank is a locally owned and operated business. We're part of your community. At fsbcares.com, you'll find ways that we're making a difference by featuring locally owned and operated businesses, providing access to helpful financial resources, and engaging with community. FSBcares.com is part of our commitment to the neighborhood because strong neighbors mean stronger communities. Where good neighbors do great things. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
7 innings complete, only 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts is how the day goes for Andrew Verbruggie. He's done now. A good start that the Hoppers needed out of him. They're poised to come away with a much-needed win here. Donovan Thacker will take over here in the top of the 8th. He'll face the 9-1-2 hitters in Parkinson, Hodo, and Attilis. Hodo, the only one of those 3 with a base hit tonight. That was the first at-bat of the game. He would score in that inning. And that's it for the Unicorns tonight. First pitch from Thacker, lined out to the right side, and that will squeak foul. Thacker, previously a Mammoth. That's where he started this season. Traded over to the Hoppers about a month ago. Spent some time on the IR with that oblique injury. The 0-1. Slider in for a strike. 4-seam fastball, slider, changeup, curveball for Donovan. Slider is the secondary pitch. Curveball we rarely see. There's a fastball outside at 90. That's the average. $14 total appearances this year for Thacker. 2 starts. Swing and a miss. Parkinson down on strikes. 2 starts for Donovan, but it's essentially just 1. We talked about him being on the IR. In his second start with the Mammoths, he threw 4 pitches. Did retire the first batter, but threw 4 pitches, and in the second at-bat, after that 4th pitch, kind of reached for that oblique area, which is near the rib cage, kind of below it on the side. It was on his glove side, so his left side. And Nick Caruso, catcher at the time for the Mammoths, noticed it, went out there. Trainers came out, and he had to come out and was sidelined for a few weeks, 3 or 4 weeks it was. So 2 starts, but one of them with just 4 pitches. It totals 21 innings this year for Thacker, 15 earned runs in those 21. Ooh, that one nicked Hodo maybe on the hand. Second hit batter in as many innings. So a 1-out base runner with some speed for the Unicorns. See if that can spark a Unicorns rally. They need one right here. Haven't scored since the first inning. 8th inning brought to you by Jimmy John's here on the USPBL Network. Fastball. Missed it. Pretty close. Antilles tonight is 0 for 3. Did reach on an error. Another fastball outside. Could see Hodo on the move here, but with the way Combs has showcased his arm in his first few professional appearances, maybe not. Maybe the Unicorns elect to just try to bring their runs around on base hits. Play station to station. It's a short lead over there. 2-1, back up the middle. It's out of the reach of Pup. Hodo stops at second as it gets to Porter in center field. First and second, only 1 out. Maybe something brewing for the Unicorns. Drew Galassi's up. Verbruggie had his way tonight with the next two batters, Galassi and Sakopoulos. 4 total strikeouts of his 9 came against these two guys. Best 2 hitters in the lineup. See if Thacker has the same fortune. Lined into left. It'll drop in front of Marcoux. And they will do just that. Play station to station like we talked about. Hodo stops at third. I think he wanted Jim Essien to wave him around. And boy, this just smells like trouble for the Hoppers, huh? The Unicorns have done it a number of times. We might see that bullpen here. I think we're gonna. They're going to warm up Drummond. Thacker's going to stay in. But the Unicorns have done this so often. Been down for the better part of the game. Somehow rally in the late innings. Tie or take the lead. They did it on Sunday. Down 6-5 since the 5th. They score 2 in the 9th and win that game 7-6 over the Mammoths. If there's any candidate, Ari, deep center field. Porter's there on the warning track. He'll make the grab. Second and third runners will tag. And they're safe everywhere. Sacrifice fly for Ari. Hodo scores. Attilis moves to third. I was just about to say, if there's any candidate to tie this game with one swing, it was that guy, Ari. Childress still could do that here. He represents the tying run at the plate. First pitch fastball for a strike. Childress not afraid of getting behind in the count. He's been very good this year in those situations. Fights the 0-1 off. Attilis at third, Galassi at first. Infield is straight up, a little deep. Porter shades Childress to pull by about 3 steps left of the second base bag. 0-2 outside. That one's outside again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's just hard to put away Childress, let alone on strikes. Trying to get him to chase. Two and two. Big pitch coming. Outside again. Combs taking an extra second. Remind the defense. Galassi will be on the move at first. Payoff pitch. Inside, he walked him. Nearly hit Childress. So Ryan Kotke's going to come out to the mound for a visit. De La Cruz steps in with the bases loaded and 2 outs. He was hit by a pitch his last time. Sure he would prefer a base hit, but wouldn't mind that here. Still would get an RBI. Another run on the board. Right side of the infield will join in on this conversation. It's a quick one. Thacker had a good appearance his last time. That was against the Beavers in the second game of the doubleheader. Struck out a batter in 1 inning of relief. Didn't give up any hits or walks. First pitch to De La Cruz outside. Attilis Galassi Childress. The runners at third, second, and first. That's actually Leandy Castro pinch running for Noah Childress over at first base. Has been absolutely no wind tonight. Flags have been limp ever since at least I arrived at the ballpark at 3:30. That's uncharacteristic for this place. All season it's been really windy, except for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. 1-1 to De La Cruz, popped foul and out of play. And the wind has played a serious factor in a number of these games. For the most part, it's been pushing balls out of the yard, typically to the left side. Some lefties have benefited from wind to right center field. But even on the rare days where it blows in, you can see the effect it has on fly balls and pop-ups. Playing true today. 1-2, line to the left, a base hit. That's going to score 1. Being waved around is Galassi. The throw from Marcoux is not going to be cut off. It's 5-4, a 2-run base hit for Adam De La Cruz here in the 8th. No lead is safe against these Unicorns. No matter the size or how long you've had it, they've got the tying run in scoring position. De La Cruz comes up clutch. Donovan Thacker's day is done. He goes 2/3 of an inning, can't quite finish it out. It'll be Luke Drummond to try to close out the 8th, where it is after the break.
Get great seats, safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. Choose great seats from over 125,000 live events, all backed with a TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Get your tickets smarter at ticketsmarter.com.
Dunham Sports is a proud partner of the USPBL. Big names, low prices, delivering value since 1937.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better, which means we put 166.7% into everything we do.
I think you can only give 110%.
Well, with free checking, fraud protection services, and an automatic savings tool to help you quickly reach your goals, 166.7% is possible.
Oh, wait till my 8th graders hear about this. They're going to be like, it's not possible. Well, yes it is.
This is banking, a Fifth Third better.
What makes Detroit Mercy so unique is the fact that it's in the middle of Detroit, and especially with their service learning programs, you really get a chance to be a part of the community.
Detroit Mercy. Build a boundless future.
So Luke Drummond takes over in the 8th. It's runners on first and second with 2 outs. Malik Bolin is up. He's the 8th batter that the Unicorns will send to the plate in this 8th inning. 3 runs have already come around. Hodo Attilis Galassi. 23rd appearance this season for Drummond. 25 1/3 innings of work. Has a 4.97 ERA. Malik tonight is 1 for 3. Singled his first time up. Grounded into a big double play last inning after De La Cruz reached on a leadoff first pitch, hit by pitch. Thought maybe the Unicorns might start a rally there in the 7th, but the double play. This one's lined out to left. Marcoux, he's going to watch it drop. Castro's being waved around. The throw again. This is a good one. It's in time. Combs can't grab it, though, and it gets by. We've got a tie game. Eighth inning rally, and the Unicorns have tied it at 5. Still not out of the inning either. De La Cruz went first to third on that play. Boland's at second. He gets himself an RBI, and that brings up Brunson. First pitch, he hit him high and in with the fastball. Brunson needs a second. He's okay, gets some claps for that. He'll head down to first. And here's Parkinson. He started this inning with a strikeout. After that, hit by pitch, single, single, sac fly, walk, single, single. Already the third batter that Drummond will have faced. Boland singled off him, and then Brunson was the hit by pitch. First pitch way outside. This just goes to show you how good Andrew Verbruggie was today. He shut down this offense for the better part of 7 innings, only 1 run. It came in the first. After that, nothing doing. On the ground, right side, Perez is there on his knees, and finally the inning ends for the Hoppers, but not before the Unicorns scratch across 4 and tie it at 5, bottom of the 8th. Hoppers batting on the other side.
Why are all these business owners smiling? Because they rely on Tryon to handle difficult and time-consuming HR tasks like payroll, benefits administration, and more. Working with one of the nation's top professional employer organizations provides access to top-tier healthcare and employee benefit plans and Tryon's team of attorneys and HR experts. With Tryon, you don't have to grow it alone. Visit RelyOnTryon.com.
You can always rely on Tryon.
We joined GreenPath and instantly felt a support around us.
They developed a plan on paper, and this is how we're going to do it.
The plan that they gave me was something that was sustainable. It was something I could do. It was actually lowering my payments monthly by hundreds of dollars.
Choosing GreenPath is a no-brainer.
Get great seats, safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. Choose great seats from over 125,000 live events, all backed with a TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Get your tickets smarter at TicketSmarter.com.
Well, if you're keeping track of this matchup, the Hoppers and the Unicorns, that is, it's been a good one all season long, but in the last 2 games, it has just been 8th inning kryptonite for the Hoppers. We talked about it in the pregame. An 8-run 8th inning for the Unicorns a week ago today, probably almost exactly a week ago this time. And now 4 in the 8th tonight. That's 12 runs in the 8th inning of the last 2 games for the Unicorns. In the last game, it broke open what was at the time a 2-0 Unicorns lead. Made it 10-0. They would tack on 1 more in the 9th and win it 11-0. Tonight, been trailing all game, and it sparks a comeback. It's now 5-5 here in the bottom of the 8th. Keon Taylor relieves for the Unicorns. Taylor will face 9-1-2, Perez, Pup, and Porter. Perez swings at the first pitch slider. It's mainly slider sinker for Keon. That sidearm delivery has been awful for righties this year. Inside again with the slider. Righties just a 174 batting average. Lefties with 260 against Keon. Ball and a strike. Dotted with the sinker on the outside edge, 1-2. 32 1/3 innings of work this year for Keon, only 8 earned runs. For the longest stretch, hadn't given up any earned runs in this season. Perez fights that one off. Then he had his first and only start back on August 4th, and that one he gave up 4 earned runs. The 1-2, right back to Keon. And an easy first out. Put out goes 1-3. Taking a look at the game logs for Keon. He actually has only had 3 appearances of his 22 that he's given up an earned run. Gave up 4 in that start, 3 in another appearance, and 1 earned run in another one. 10 walks to 36 strikeouts this season. Pup takes a sinker on the outside for strike 1. Swing and a miss. Inside on Pup, 0-2. 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 error for the Unicorns. 5 runs on 9 hits and 1 error for the Hoppers. We're here in the 8th. About 20 minutes ago, it was 5-1. 0-2, swing and a miss. Lazy swing from Pup for the second out. Porter's 0 for 4. Reached on an error in the 4th. Yet to find a base knock tonight. On the ground, right side. Hodo off his glove, and Porter's going to board safely. Tough sliding play on a ball that was bounding away from John Hodo. Brings up Yachty. He's 2 for 4. Hasn't really had the benefit of runners on in front of him too often. Boy, nasty slider from Keon. That's a big base hit by Porter because that brings up Rivera, who's a lefty, and Marcoux behind him, who's a lefty. We already talked about lefties are much better against Taylor than righties. It's an opportunity for a 2-out rally, but man, the The energy, the momentum feels like it's been zapped from these Hoppers after their bugaboo 8th inning. On the ground foul. It's been a fun one tonight. We thank you for joining us. I'm Brendan Shabath, bringing you the call here on the US PBL Network. We're in the 8th. Unicorns scored 4 in the top half to tie this game. Sent 10 batters to the plate. 0-2 Porter running on the pitch. Rivera checked his swing. Did he tip it? I think so. Pretty good crowd we had for a Wednesday tonight. Some of them are still here. It's been an energetic crowd. They've participated a lot in tonight's game. Taylor taking a long time here, and he'll step off. Porter was dancing a little bit over there at first, trying to distract Keon in an important pitch. Oh, 2. Thought about it. Parkinson asks for the appeal, won't get it, so it's 1-2. Tonight started with Austin Calopetro for the Unicorns. He got hit around a little bit. 2 innings, 1 run on 4 hits. Had a very high pitch count, 60 through 2 innings. Then came in Fiorito. He didn't have any more luck. 3 innings, 3 runs on 2 hits. Popped him up on the left side. De La Cruz under it. And that's easy for the 3rd out. 4 batters come up. 1 gets stranded. Still tied at 5.
At Fifth Third Bank, we're working hard to make banking a Fifth Third better. With free checking and fraud protection services, 166.7% is possible.
166.7.
This is banking a Fifth Third better.
You hear about the promo that Jimmy's John's got going on? 5 off 20? How they pulling it off? Magic? You got David's Copperfields in there? Show yourself, Copperfields!
Jimmy John's. $5 off orders of 20 or more.
One thing that makes Detroit Mercy unique and different from other universities is that the faculty truly care about you and they're always there to help. Whether it's asking questions after class or going into the office hours, they're always there to lend a hand and really make you feel at home.
People are here to work together, and whether like you have a question or you're discussing topics within the class, you can go up to your professor and they know your name. They're just willing to help you become a better overall student.
Detroit Mercy. Build a boundless future.
So Luke Drummond toes the slab in the 9th. He came out with 2 outs in the 8th after 3 runs had already come across to face Malik Bolin. And Bolin singled to left. That scored Childress, or excuse me, that was Castro pinch running for Childress at the time. Then Drummond hit Brunson with the pitch on the first pitch. Finally got Parkinson to ground out with the bases loaded and end a very long 10-batter 8th inning. See if he can have any better fortune here in the 9th. But he'll have to face the top of the order. Hodo, Attilis, Galassi all reached and scored last inning. Hodo reached by a hit by pitch. Attilis and Galassi by singles. First pitch, breaking ball, misses inside. Hodo, the only Unicorn to score more than once tonight. He scored the first run and the second. The first run coming back in the first inning in his first at-bat. Broke his bat, chucks it as it's a little pop-up to Drummond for the first out. Now it's Attilas' turn. 1 for 4. The one coming last inning. First pitch, ball high. Next one gets a swing and a miss, 1-1 on Luis. Kahuna 13135 says, love watching my son Alec Brunson follow his dream in such a great atmosphere on YouTube. We love watching him too. Brunson getting the start in right field tonight for the Unicorns. 1-2, close with the fastball. Drummond wanted the call, is not going to get it. Got him looking, strike 3 on the outside corner. Attilas doesn't like it. He's down on strikes for the second time tonight, and that's the second out and a big one. Last thing you want to do is put on base runners in front of this guy and the guys behind him, Drew Galassi. On deck is Sikopoulos, and in the hole is Childress. First pitch swinging and missing. Drew finally got a base hit last time up. That was off Thacker in the 8th. 1 for 4 tonight. Check swing 0-2. Just hasn't been a comfortable night at the plate for him. Andrew Verbruggie was really good through 7 innings. Drummond, slide step, sidearm delivery, fouled back. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes. Luke Drummond gets back-to-back Ks to end the 9th. The Hoppers surrendered 4 in the 8th. Can they redeem themselves with their last chance before extras in the bottom of the 9th? Coming up on the other side of this break.
They call me Prospects. Since the day I was born as a diver's watch, the challengers of the world have taught me many things. Life is not a numbers game. It's about challenging ourselves. No matter what happens, just follow your heart. These pioneers drive our generation forward. Not by setting records, but by never giving up. Keep going forward. Prospects.
Available at Lucido Fine Jewelry.
As a chair of emergency medicine at an Ascension, Michigan hospital, I understand the importance of timely ER care. Stroke, heart attack, chest pain, injury. ERs at Ascension Michigan hospitals are ready 24/7 with all the care you need. What makes ERs at Ascension Michigan hospitals different? Your experience from door to doctor and beyond. The right combination of compassion and expertise, the right care at the right time, from experienced care teams and board-certified doctors who listen. You and your loved ones are connected to on-site lab and imaging, pharmacy and follow-up care with specialists in cardiovascular services, neuroscience, orthopedics, and more. We connect all the dots for your care so you can focus on healing and getting back to your life. Choose ERs at Ascension Michigan Hospitals.
Don't delay care for heart attack, stroke, and other emergency symptoms. Get the care you need at the closest Ascension Michigan ER near you. Visit ascension.org/MICare.
Bottom of the 9th, tied at 5. Playoffs looming. Big game for both teams. Here's Marcoux facing Taylor. Sinker in for a strike. It's Marcoux, Burke, and Kreitzer. 3 power hitters that the Hoppers love to have in the last half inning before extras. Marcoux's already homered once tonight. That came in the third inning. Swings and misses at a slider. Taylor came out last inning, gave up a hit, but also got a strikeout and recorded all 3 outs. Thought about it on the slider, didn't offer. Go back to that 4th inning where Drew Galassi robbed Joe Burke of a grand slam. That's the difference maker in this game. Ooh, nearly hit Marcoux. That would have been bad on the 1-2 count. But it really, I think 99 times out of 100, maybe 9 times out of 10 is a little more forgiving, would be 8-5 right now. But Galassi is just outstanding in center field the second time in as many weeks he's pulled back a home run. The 2-2, hard hit, pounded foul. Don't go anywhere after the game. We'll have your Detroit Mercy post-game show with our player of the game to be determined in this tie game right now here in the 9th. Marcoux pops it up high to center. Galassi ranging into the alley. And that's the first out. So they got the already home run hitter out for the first out. Now here's the almost home run hitter, Joe Burke. Walk, sac fly, strikeout for Joe tonight. He scored on his second walk. That was in the 3rd inning. Hoppers haven't scored since the 4th. First pitch, fly ball to left. Bolin coming in. And it drops in front of him, and it'll get past him. Burke's going to stretch it for 2. Men in scoring position with 1 out. Big 1-out double for Joe Burke. That brings up Nick Kreitzer. Just kind of a flyer out to left. Off the bat, looked like it was deeper than it was. Bolin had to come in on it and just looked like he didn't fully commit to that dive. Joe Burke's 180 feet away. They're going to intentionally walk Nick Kreitzer. They don't want to pitch to him. That brings up Scott Combs. And I think Scott Combs might be pinch hit for here. As Ryan Kottke comes to talk to our home plate umpire, Bryant Schellenbarger is heading towards the plate. Some strategery here in the 9th. Talked about it on Sunday. It's becoming a bigger factor as the season winds down. Managers' decisions are more frequent and perhaps more important, or at least they feel that way, than they did midway and at the early parts of this season. I think a big part of this, Ryan Kottke wants a lefty to go against Keon Taylor. Kreitzer would have been one, but they intentionally walk him. Combs coming from the right side. Likely if this game goes into extras, it'll be Whit Hughes off the bench as a defensive substitution for Schellenbarger. He's not a catcher. Combs is the catcher tonight. So first and second, 1 out. Game on the line. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch. Sinker fouled back. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. The slider just ducks under the bat. Throw it on to first. Did they get him? No, he's safe. Wow. Almost got Kreitzer on the back pick. He got caught on that earlier this season in a non-public against these Unicorns. That was way back at the beginning of the year. It was the Hoppers beating the Unicorns in what was their first loss of the season at the time. No balls and 2 strikes. Schellenbarger hitting .235 this year. He's got 13 RBIs. The only run that matters is in scoring position. It's Burke at second base. The 0-2. Inside, he hit him. Schellenbarger wears that one. That looked like it hurt. Slider at 77. Brings up another lefty in Sean Lawler. Looks like it caught Schellenbarger on the inside of that left knee. The slider darting in on the lefty. So bases loaded. Infield is going to have to come in. Anything on the ground in play will come home. The outfield is in. Anything that gets over their head or even as deep as them probably isn't going to matter. Not a ton of speed with Burke at third base. So we could see a play at the plate on a sac fly. The first pitch to Lawler. Up the middle. It's through. Base hit. The Hoppers win. It goes off Taylor into left, and Lawler walks it off into the Utica night. They mob Lawler at second base. His second base hit of the night is the biggest one of the season for him. That's the 16th win for the Hoppers and their 3rd in a row. Leading 5-1 since the 4th. They surrender 4 in the 8th, lose all momentum, and then rally in the bottom of the 9th to win it with a bases loaded 1-out single from Sean Lawler. Stick around for the Detroit Mercy post-game show. That's coming up on the other side of the break.
Ain't too many of the teams can defeat us. You on the sideline warming up the benches. Need a lesson I can show you, I can teach ya. You see a Diamond Hopper fan, point 'em out. Ayy, fly ball, catch a frog, walk it out. Ayy, every time we score I'm throwing up my diamond. Both hands in the air, same timing. Let's rock. Diamond Hoppers, Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, we the Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, Eastside Diamond Hoppers. Diamond Hoppers, we the Eastside Diamond Hoppers.
Welcome back to the Detroit Mercy postgame show here with obviously our player of the game, Sean Lawler, the big walk-off hit. You guys win it 6-5. Sean, first, take me through that 8th inning and into the 9th. I don't know if Sean saw it coming. Did you remember that Gatorade showers were a part of walk-offs?
I don't know why I didn't think that was coming, but got my batting gloves a little wet, but they'll dry off. We're all good. But, yeah, obviously going to that 8th inning, we had a good lead, 5-1, and came back and tied it up. But that we didn't give up. We knew we could come back against these guys, and obviously Luke came back out in the 9th inning and gave him a 0. And we knew we had a chance going to the bottom of the 9th, and obviously we got our opportunity and we took advantage of it and got the W.
So what's your approach going against Keon Taylor there from the left side? He was doing good tonight, especially against righties, but lefties he's had a little bit more struggles. You come in on the left side. What was your approach? Bases loaded, infield in. What were you looking for?
I was just looking for something specifically over the outside part of the play because his ball tends to tail away from lefties. And it just stayed middle, and my eyes just lit up, and I just stayed through it and hit one right back up the middle and ended the ball game, you know? It was a great piece.
So maybe a little insight for the fans who aren't here earlier in the day. In batting practice, you robbed your teammates of a few home runs out there in right field. I was keyed in on that, thought maybe we would see that in the game. But it seemed like you had energy and excitement, and the team was feeling that way. You guys picked up 2 wins against the Beavers on Saturday. Did that kind of come into the plate today for you, 2 base hits?
Yeah, the only guy I robbed was Shelly, but he wasn't too happy with me with that. But yeah, I always have energy coming to the ball field every day because you never know when your last day playing this great game is. And I always come in here, it's like it's my last game because I love this game so much. And I come here energy, and it also gives the guys around me energy too because you never want to come out with poor energy because I'll just float around the team. And coming out with positive energy, come out with positive impacts and positive results like today.
Well, it was a good game, a fun one. Thank you very much for joining us. Hoppers win this one 6-5 in walk-off fashion. Sean Lawler with the bases loaded base hit. Thank you for joining us here on the USPBL Network and at Jimmy John's Field. We'll see you next time.